for tuning in for another episode of Unreal Talk. I'm Brian. That's Dave.
And we're actually here today.
That can be said that it be true.
Because we're here.
That's right. And you're not, but you're watching us. Thanks for watching us.
Profound.
What are we talking about today there, Dave?
I was thinking about some stuff, like I was on Amazon. Because, working graveyard at a call center the way I do, we're basically an operator services line, so people call in for information. Well, most of our target demographic is asleep overnight. We get maybe 20, 30, 50 at the most calls a night. So I spend hours and hours looking at stuff on the internet. I've been looking at replica gremlin puppets that are for sale, actual screen used puppets that are for sale. They go for a couple $1,000s each.
Yeah.
But one of the things I came across on Amazon was a whole listing for hidden cameras and spy gear. And I was so entranced by this, I started looking through them, and I was looking through every fucking one they had. Now, some of my personal favorites were the little smiley face button.
Yeah.
It's not really a pin like I would have a pin on my coat. It's got more of a clasp on it, and it's kind of a hard plastic. It looks like a kid's toy, which more or less it is.
Yeah.
But, most of the reviews were fairly favorable. It's just a couple people were like, look, take it with a grain of salt because you're essentially buying a child's toy. So you're not going to get, high quality HD video.
Yeah.
But, it got me thinking because, I remember when we were in high school. I had that ex-girlfriend. Remember? I brought her over to your mom's place, and then we took those pictures in your mom's basement while you were doing something else. Well, we still had to get film developed back then. So, of course, she was like, no. But if we didn't have to have film developed, a digital camera back then, sky's the limit, because no one would ever see it but me and her. So I was thinking, damn, what if I had one of these when I was, a lot younger, in high school, if I had one of these hidden camera pins? Man, that would be awesome. But yeah, I was looking at some of the other stuff. There's one... It's a black plastic coat hook. You hang on the wall. Now, I would never use it for a coat hook because it looks kind of cheap, but, you could put a coat hook in a bedroom or, in your living room if you're trying to catch people doing something they're not supposed to do, in a place where you wouldn't normally hang a coat, but if somebody looked and said, oh, there's a coat hook in this room, it wouldn't be like, why is there a coat hook in your kitchen?
Why is there a coat hook over your stove?
Why is there a coat hook in the laundry room?
Why is there a coat hook in the corner up there? You look up, it's shh, nothing to see here.
Shut up. Stop noticing me. But yeah, there's ones alarm clocks with hidden cameras. I mean, this got me thinking, you can hide a camera anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even, the GoPro, the one we're using to film right now, it's a little bigger than some of these hidden cameras. This is kind of obvious, especially with the fucking blinking lights. So, I mean, if I were going to hide this somewhere in my apartment, to try and catch someone stealing or, to just keep an eye on the place overnight, well, for one thing, the battery would die out after a little while.
Unless you had it plugged in with some sort of power source and, because you can actually have it plugged in and running. You can actually even turn the lights off on it so that it doesn't blink. But
otherwise, how would you know it's recording? Because
unless you unless you have a screen or something on it that shows you that it's recording,
which costs extra.
Yeah, or if you already have a tablet, or you can use a smartphone and connect it and just look through there. But I mean, you could even say one of your shelves over here, just cut a little hole out and just plug it in, and then it could look like it's just sitting there.
True.
And if you do that, then you've got, 1080p. It doesn't have night vision, though.
Which, I guess makes sense, because it's so small and cheap. I mean, it's still 120-something bucks for the basic model, but, that's still cheap by camera standards.
Yeah. The new one shoots in 4K, though. GoPro Hero 4. Wave of the future, man.
Yeah, so eventually when everyone can afford the 4K TVs, you'll be set.
Yep. That's eventually how they sell, basically, anymore, is 4K TVs.
Mm-hmm.
So, when everybody's TV, goes out on them in the next, 15, 20 years or so, then everybody will have 4K televisions by then.
I think you're giving the modern televisions too much credit. But yeah, I saw spy pens with a little camera in the pen, and the sunglasses with a little pinhole in the thing where you record video from.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, anybody could be watching anything you do. It's like there could be a drone with a fucking camera outside your window right now.
Yeah.
I see you've already looked and it's gone because they heard me say that.
Yes, but now we know what you're wearing when you're watching this.
Or not wearing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and isn't that okay, fine. Let's be completely honest about this whole hidden camera thing. Okay, what are the 3 things you use hidden cameras for? Catching people doing shit they ain't supposed to do, practical jokes, and seeing people naked. Either people that you've invited in that are willing to be naked but may not necessarily be willing to be videotaped or photographed, or people that have no idea they're on camera. Yeah. But that's pretty much the only reasons to have one of these spy cameras. I mean, okay, fine, you get a nanny cam because you think the babysitter's stealing or you want to make sure the kids aren't doing something they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the one reason.
Yeah. Oh, they do have the teddy bears with, the camera eye.
Yeah, but even those are a little bit obvious. Because they're usually pretty sizable because there's generally a camera or other recording equipment stored inside.
Yeah.
And those still run off of batteries. I do kind of like the alarm clock models. Because those can be plugged into the wall and for the most part are indistinguishable from any other alarm clock radio that someone would have in their bedroom or, take with them to the hotel. But hey, let's just say last time you were at this hotel, you noticed some personal effects were missing. You set up this little alarm clock next to the bed, and if they don't steal it, then, you may catch one of the people in housekeeping rifling through your stuff.
Yeah. Or, one thing you can just do is take something like a GoPro and take one of your rubber masks and just stick its eye, in that and just kind of, sit it somewhere.
Yeah, but that still requires the use of a GoPro.
You can do that with any camera.
Well, not any. I mean, the camera I have, I don't know if I could fit that in the thing and still be able to, yeah.
Now, our main camera is a little wonky as far as,
well,
size.
I mean, it's the size of a normal camcorder, and that's kind of hard to work into things.
Although these days, camcorders, for the most part, are, the size of cameras. They're kind of, flat.
Depending on quality, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the higher-end models are definitely bigger.
Mm. Well, if we're looking into Steven Spielberg territory, yeah.
No, not even Steven Spielberg, but I mean there's the home use camcorder that you just take on vacations and you point around the beach and you look at the kids and there's no microphone to speak of. It'll just record you yelling, "Ha ha ha! Look at everybody having a good time."
Yeah.
But then there's the consumer
10,000.
Pro range where it's okay, this is for people who are serious about their home movies but don't want to break into Hollywood. And those are the ones that are a bit bigger, maybe have the detachable microphones.
Yeah, and then there's the $10,000, shoulder-mounted, voice-activated ones. I was looking at those once for fun. It's just freaking, you just talk to the camera to get it started.
Hey, camera, wake up. Okay, record now. Stay zoomed on me.
Although one thing I thought that would be kind of neat would be getting a GoPro drone, where I could connect this thing to a drone and get those establishing shots, where it comes down from just for the heck of it. Hey, we're getting professional here. GoPro.
Establishing shots?
Yes. It can be I'll have it start out there and it'll get lower and then it'll break through your window and come over here and stop. And then we'll start the episode.
Establishing shots. For the two of us sitting behind the table. I swear to God. That would be like giving Kevin Smith Steven Spielberg's budget from AI and telling him to shoot Clerks. It's like, oh my god, an establishing shot that starts in space and pans down to Earth and then pans down to New Jersey and in through the front of the quick stop and then spins around hard, knocking things off the shelves, and all of a sudden, Dante and Randall are behind the counter like this.
I could do most of that already with Google Earth.
Good, we've already got the establishing shot.
I just can't get the dramatic swing into the apartment.
I guess that's where the drone would come in handy.
Exactly. See, for that one, I'm willing to spend $1,000 for that one shot that I need and never use it again. And fucking put it in the closet. Maybe beat it with a baseball bat first, so no one else could ever be able to use it again.
I did see actually a remote-controlled drone with a camera that wasn't too terribly expensive.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, there's plenty of those that you could get for less than $200.
Yeah. And those are more recreational. I mean, you control them with, like, your cell phone or whatever, and, you know.
Yeah.
They don't have much of a range, though, as far as height. Although, you can get some of those tricked out. Like, I've seen mods on those where people have managed to get them up to, like, 1,000 feet.
Well, I mean, I really wouldn't need to get them much higher than, like, a 3-story building at most, because nothing in this town is really more than 3 stories half the time, unless you're at a casino.
And then there goes the spy camera thing again. Using a drone to, like, look through people's windows and shit.
Actually, I've been looking at people's roofs, because there's always stuff on the roof that people forget about.
Yeah.
And it's really weird to see all that stuff when you're just, like, overhead. It's like when I was flying into Chicago on my last trip back from Philly, I looked down, and it gets pretty low in Midway, right before you hit the runway. So I'm looking down, and I'm seeing, like, just things on top of people's roofs that apparently they have no fucking clue is there. Or they know it's there, and they just can't do anything about it. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you ever wonder maybe if there's some, like, a dead body on one of the roofs up here? Because, I mean, like, most people don't really go up to their...
True, but eventually with the decomposition, it'd probably rot through the ceiling.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And, yeah, because I've seen that on some TV show. There was a dead body, and then it kind of came through the roof because it'd just been sitting up there seeping in its own juices until it just rotted the roof out and went right down.
I don't know, let's just say there's somebody working on, like, an air conditioner or some metal thing up there. And then the guy has, like, a heart attack and dies or heat stroke or whatever one summer. Just right on the thing.
People would notice that he was gone and the air conditioner still wasn't fixed.
Yeah, what if he just finished fixing it?
Yeah, but then they'd be like, hey, we got another job for you. Hey, this is dispatch. Where are you at? And they're like, send somebody to the last place he was because his truck is still there and the GPS is still going.
Yeah, it's like, send more cops.
Send more air conditioning repairmen.
Yeah. I don't know, it's possible. I mean, like, in an apartment complex like ours where nobody likes their job...
Plus, we have slanty roofs, so they probably just slide off. It'd be more likely that someone would find a dead body in the bushes next to the building after the air conditioning guy kind of went, and then fell over and landed in one of them big-ass shrubs that they almost never trim.
Maybe that's what happened last year. Remember they found that dead body out by the entrance last year?
Yeah.
Like, a couple feet away from the apartment here?
Neighborhood's classy.
Yeah. There's, like, a dead
person. It's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
It's really not. I mean...
People complain about how bad it is, but I don't...
people complain about a lot of things in Reno that don't make sense. Like, you know, me and a couple other people at work are not from Reno originally. So, this little old lady who's been in Reno all her life is like, well, Reno has gangs! And I literally went... and I was like, you don't know from gangs! How many times have you been shot at? No? Okay, never mind. You're cool.
Because she flashes the colors, that's why.
That's right. She's flashing them old lady arthritic gang signs.
With their crochet net.
West side! West side!
So very many technologies of... Just remember, folks, Big Brother is watching you.
And so is everyone around you, probably. I remember in that last apartment that I lived in, where we lived there and then you moved out.
Oh, yeah, that dude had all those security cameras in the downstairs apartment.
There was the one guy that we were pretty sure was a drug dealer of some kind, had little security cameras in the corner of the windows looking out in different directions around the building and into the parking lot next to the building. I was like, huh. Most times those are pointed at the inside.
Yeah. So he's either a drug dealer or an undercover cop.
Mm-hmm. Or both.
A drug dealing undercover cop?
Stranger things have happened.
True.
Yeah, I think I'd like to get into the spy camera thing. I mean, not like I really have a reason to at the moment, but there have been some choice opportunities that have been missed.
Mm. Not only that, but that would give us an opportunity to maybe review some too, as far as like, video quality, cheapness of the.
We wouldn't be able to show the test footage.
You luring me, the men back and.
Well, by that point, they're already good and lowered. Because, it's not like I'm still using that old duct tape pickup line.
Like, free candy. Like, that's not a van, that's a refrigerator box. Like, shut up and get in.
Get in the van. Oh, man. And I just think about, like, when we were kids, or, like, we were, like, watching movies, and people would have spy cameras that were, like, this big. And it's pretty much at that point. It's just some of the cases are a bit bigger.
Pinhole camera.
Yeah. So I remember the ones in Spy Kids, like, Machete super spy cameras, like the smallest cameras ever. They were, like, almost cellular sized. It's like, put the finger in the bag and you stick it on the wall, and that's how you get the camera up there. But it's apparently, like, a super awesome HD camera. Now, those would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, that technology.
Cover the whole apartment in those things. You never miss anything, ever.
You can keep one on your tongue, just like, something happens.
It's like walking around going,
or keep it on your finger, and it's like, oh!
Like, get one that lights up. Go.
Yeah, technology just keeps getting better, though, so those cameras will just keep have better resolution.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I always wanted? Was the night vision goggles. Remember the ones that they used to sell? The kid ones? They probably...
The Spytech night vision goggles.
Yeah. Which came out when I was like 25, so,
Yeah. I remember I had that one wristwatch camera that broke. I mean, it was still actually a pretty cool idea because it was obviously a bulky watch, and it, if anyone was looking at it right, they'd be like, hey, is there something in that shouldn't be in a watch? And I'd be like, no. But yeah, there was a camera that came out of the front of it, not like out of here, but like this way. So if you were just kind of sitting there with the camera, you push the button, quiet record, and then review the footage. After a while, though, the fucking battery quit on it, and I'm going to repurpose it for something else. But they made another one later that had night vision.
Mm.
I just never bought that one because it was too expensive.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with night vision. I mean,
even if it was shit night vision, because it probably would have been.
Yeah. Even that is still like, basic grade, what the military originally used night vision.
And the footage was a bit grainy from that wristwatch camera. Not that I'd expect much better, but, shooting people from 4 or 5 feet away and then not being able to tell clearly who you were talking to at the time because the picture is blurry, that doesn't help.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, I think this is where our discussion...
I was thinking about the other thing. Instead of the GoPro, maybe getting the Polaroid Cube.
Yeah.
Because the GoPro is still... the Polaroid Cube is about half the size of the GoPro.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really have any obvious lights or blinking things. And it's got the magnet attached to it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You can stack them.
Yeah, but even then, it's like beyond just stacking. It's like anytime you have a surface that's magnetic, you could just click the camera up there and be like, what camera?
Do some Batman action. Because, we used to have those magnetic, cameras and shit.
Back before he was using Wayne's satellite networks and shit like that.
He sold out. Anyway, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Unreal Talk.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and join the conversation down below. What is your favorite hidden camera?
The conversation. Probably be arrested if I did it in real life. Because just imagine you're having a really bad day, you need to take out some aggression, and you really want to get some exercise in.